Roll call.
Chisel. Carlson.
Here.
Zittergreen.
Here.
Hadley.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Neal.
Here.
Luce.
Here.
I want to either bring before the council or just a reminder that we have ceased doing any COVID regulations in the city hall and in the hallway. And I think that we still have procedural matters as far as electronic meetings and attendance. Would you please look at those again so that you're reviewed as far as coming in from Zoom? Just a reminder. Okay, public comment. Do we have anybody that wants to make a public comment?
Can I ask a question, Mayor? Isn't just that we need to give notification if we are?
Well, according to the Decorah City Council Rules of Procedure, in letter E, you do have to give, you do have to let probably the mayor know or city manager, but also there's a limit on how many times council can Zoom in a quarter. I think it's 1 per quarter. And I just wanted to remind the council of that.
That's fine. I hope you got my email. That's all.
Yeah, you did. I did.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll go on to public.
Good evening. Just wanted to talk this afternoon on something you're all aware of. Recently, we switched over to a new records management system at the police department. You're all aware of the cost and the time that went into that. The process was extremely difficult, expensive. That's the reasons that we put up with what we had for as long as we did. Process for switching over was going to take a year just for the build. In that time period, we were asked to put together a build team from our department. The records management system was built just for us. A lot of the departments are the same for police departments, but we're not identical, so this was made for us. I identified who would be our build team from the Decorah Police Department, and it didn't take long going into the process that we started having people drop off out of the build team just due to the fact that it took so long to put the thing together. To dedicate yourself, it wasn't once a month they were meeting, it wasn't once a week, it was just about daily that we had to help build this program. For those that don't know it, Carrie Sovereign is my administrative assistant, and she's also the records clerk for the police department. She ended up being the lone person taking on the headache of the build team for the police department. Adding to that workload, the old system that we had was so outdated, it was a monumental switchover. This system can do things we never dreamt possible. So it wasn't a matter of just tweaking an old system. What she went through was a lot of work. Adding to the misery of that, she also had to keep up her office duties. And that's the only records clerk we have and the only administrative clerk that we have. About 6 months into the project, like halfway through, I checked in on her. Her office was a mess. Normally it's all orderly. She was working out of a binder the size of my thigh, and it was a binder that she made up. It was all her notes, emails, correspondence, and she had 2 clumps of hair in her hand from, I think, pulling out her own hair. I said, hey, Carrie, thank you much for what you're doing. When we get through this all, I'm going to get you a department puppy to kind of make up for it. Her response was guttural in nature, and I left the area. This past year in April, we decided we're going to go live. We're switching over. Data transfer didn't go well. There's a lot of critical components that were still up in the air. And again, she had her normal workload to keep up on besides the day-to-day work of this. Again, stopped by, promised her an office pony, and I left the area. When we went live, we had to train every police officer. We work 24/7. It's tough to ask a night officer who works all night long to come in on the day shift just because it's easier for us to train them. Carrie, on her own initiative, came in on nights and trained the night officers. We didn't ask her to do it. She knows the men and women that work in the police department. She did that on her own accord. I think by now you're starting to get the gist of how much work that she put into this whole project, and it continues. We're still learning the system. There's bugs in it. There's changes. There's nuances. There's things that she's working with on a regular basis. Officers are always complaining. We're a fickle bunch. We don't like change. She's always kept up a positive attitude saying, it's okay, we're going to work through it, and I'll show you how things go together. Throughout this entire process, she hasn't changed. She's not a complainer. She's not asking for help. She knows we all have other jobs to do. She's never once come to me and said, put another person back on the team. Unbelievable amount of work that she did going into it. She's got an upbeat, fun personality that never changed either. With that being said, I'm gonna have Carrie come up here. Yeah, I'll pay for this tomorrow.
Uh,
I got her
And-
here under false
And
pretenses.
did you want Kareth to come up there?
Gareth? Yeah. I lied to her about what we're doing tonight. Due to the fact that Wanda told me that I can't buy an office puppy. She told me I can't buy an office pony. And she said, if I buy you a car, it comes out of my own account. So what I want to do is I want to award Gareth today with the Outstanding Service Award for work done for the past year in Records Management System Central Square 2020 to 2021. And say from the bottom of my heart, thank you much for what you've done.
Thank you, Kareth. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak to the council on anything that's not on the agenda? Seeing none. Consent agenda.
Item A, minutes of the July 6 and July 10 meetings. Item B, claims. Item C, special event application for Vesterheim Museum and Folk Art School Heritage Park dedication, August 21st, 2021, 1 to 5 p.m. Item D, change order number 4 for Locust Road, minus $6,036.39. Item E, consider agreement with Brenton Architects and Engineers for professional design services for the proposed fire station building. And item F, change order number 1 for East Main Street, $4,000.
Hadley makes a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Luce with second.
Motion made by Hadley, seconded by Luce. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Hadley,
Aye.
Luce,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Chisel, Sittergren.
Aye.
Consider Resolution 3163, approving a right of first refusal document for land along Old Stage Road and in Section 14 and Section 23, Township 98 North, Range 8 West of the 5th PM, all within the city of Decorah, Winnebago County, Iowa. I'll give some background on that. Or maybe,
I've got it. I can give you a
Okay.
quick summary just to remind you guys about what this is. So back in February, I believe, is when you reviewed this and voted to table it. And it's a right of first refusal for the Dalen land that is not being rezoned. It's for the balance of the farmland primarily. And what this does is if Dalen should receive an offer, the city has the right to exercise a right of first refusal. But one part of this was, for various reasons, we decided that it would be based upon the appraised value, not the offer that Dalen's would receive. And there's a process in there if the Dalen's don't like the city's appraisal, that they can get an appraisal, and then there's a third appraisal. And there's a few exceptions to this where the Dalen's wanted to be able to convey this property to some family members if they decided to do that. But outside of that situation, then the city has this right of first refusal, and it's good for a period of 10 years. And again, this right of first refusal, though, is subject to the city approving the rezoning. So this goes along with the conditional rezoning agreement that this would go into effect only upon approval of the rezoning.
Okay,
I move for approval of Resolution 3163.
motion made by Johnson, seconded by Chisel. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Chisel, Neal,
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Luce,
Aye.
Sittergren.
Aye.
Hadley.
Aye.
Consider ordinance 1264, approving a request for rezoning of property. Alan Dalen and Helen Wise, co-executors of the estate of Arnold G. Dalen and Alan J. Dalen, Patricia J. Dalen, for land along Old Stage Road and in Section 14 and Section 23, Township 98 North, Range 8 West of the 5th PM, all within the city of Decorah, Winnebago County, Iowa parcels from F1 floodplain to C4 shopping center commercial. Second reading.
Luce would move approval the second reading.
Okay, Randy already did it, Steve. You want to second it?
Sorry, I didn't hear him say that. Yes, I would second.
Okay.
Motion made by Chisel, seconded by Luce. Any discussion? Have there been any comments since the last? Okay.
No.
Hearing no discussion. Roll call.
Chisel.
Aye.
Luce,
Aye.
Carlson,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Sittergren.
Aye.
Hadley,
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
That's the second reading. Consider, and we will have the third reading at the next city council meeting. Consider approval of employment agreement for city manager position.
Okay, the employment agreement is exactly as was discussed at your meeting last week. It has been signed by your candidate. Would you like me to go through the specifics of it?
It would be good for people in the public to hear if they want to.
Okay, so the main pieces of it, the salary will begin at 122,500. After 6 months, it'll go to 125,000 with a satisfactory review. It includes a relocation and transitional housing allowance for $9,000 and vacation 7 years starting. Otherwise, everything, and within 24 months, he will maintain and achieve and maintain a credentialed manager status within 24 months. Otherwise, everything in here follows our personnel policy. Those are the only differences. So
Okay,
Thank you, Wanda.
you're welcome.
Uh,
I would move for approval of the employment agreement for the city manager.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. The only discussion is, do we not give a name during this?
Oh,
Or do you
Travis
see-
Gedkin
Okay.
from the city of Humboldt. Sorry,
Well,
I
I-
should have said that.
I knew that was the case. I just thought maybe.
Yep,
better
no,
make
Travis
sure.
Gedkin he's the city manager in Humboldt. And like I said, he has signed the agreement.
Okay, very good. That being said, roll call.
Chisel,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Carlson,
Aye.
Luce,
Aye.
Sittergren.
Aye.
Hadley.
Aye.
Very good. I really want to thank the council for the process, the respectability that was given to this, the discussion. I also wanted to make note and thank those people that we had requested be part of the interview process, being Ben Grimstead, Maria Leitz, Stephanie Fromm, Michelle Barnes, and Mark Lovelace, who had participated, and all of the work that the city staff has done as well as far as the department too. I really appreciate it. I'm extremely excited for Travis to get here and.
I'll ditto that. Just saying.
So thank you very much. Consider amendment 2016 Winnebago County Emergency Management Mutual Aid Agreement.
This is an amendment to your agreement that we signed back in 2016. And basically, the essence of it is that it just adds a component that if a city or the county experiences a disaster and you have essential workers that are displaced, that another community or the county, whoever's affected, the others will find a place for those essential workers to be. For instance, if we have a problem here with City Hall with flooding and City Hall is flooded and we have to move dispatch, hopefully we would be able to find some place within the city to do that. But if not, then, you know, one of the other cities involved in this or the county would find a place for those essential workers.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to approve the amendment with Winnebago County Emergency Management, or the Winnebago County Emergency Management Mutual Aid Agreement.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion made by Hadley, and this time I'll take Neil for second. Roll call.
Hadley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Carlson,
Aye.
Chisholm,
Aye.
Sittergren,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Luce.
Aye.
Okay, city manager, management. Yeah, city manager, department head, council reports. Wanda?
I don't think I have anything for you tonight.
Ah,
Woohoo!
right.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything for you tonight. Not that
Okay.
that I wrote down. Pardon.
Okay. Okay.
On to the budget books, right?
Department head, yeah, Dave.
This year, we're going to host a National Night Out event. That's a event that goes on across the United States and where law enforcement agencies get together with the community and interact. We've never hosted one before. This year, we're going to take part. We started the advertising today. Captain Scott Herman and Sergeant Mandy Groth have been taking the lead on it. It's going to be at Phelps Park, August 3rd. We're going to start getting some flyers out, and there'll be more information on that coming out soon.
I'm really excited about that. I read about that a few years back, and I know First Lutheran, I think, did an event one year, but I just think that's a great event and a great location, and I really appreciate all the work you're doing to put that together.
Yep, we're getting some help from Park Rec too. It's going to be a good event.
I'm looking to host a telecommunications board meeting this coming Wednesday evening after the sustainability meeting, it looks like, so. That's about it.
Mike?
We've completed phase 1 of our lab certification. All went well. We're on to phase 2 now. We also got notification from the DNR that we need to renew our federal discharge permit with EPA. It's about a 6-month process. A lot of moving parts with loadings and extra testing and working with our industrial dischargers on changes that have happened in the last couple of years. If there's any type of expansion, we have to take that into consideration. We do our final calculations. So on Thursday, I'm going to meet with Gemini and start off with them and have a meeting with them on what their future looks like if they're going to increase the discharge to the plant.
Very good. It's nice to see Rick Bohr here, who looks a little bit like Todd Idy, but not exactly. Yeah. Okay,
On Wednesday, this week, July 21st, there will be the ribbon cutting at Venaheim Park with that battery project with Alliant Energy. So I think 11 to 1 on Wednesday, and I see the Lieutenant Governor is coming for that, so.
anyone else? I had a question, I'll ask Jeremy real quick. For Nordic Fest, the street that is by the museum, that goes north and south, is that going to be blocked off for Nordic Fest, or is it just to water to the end by the museum.
You're talking about Mill Street?
Yes,
Yeah, so it'll be blocked off north of Water Street between Mill Street and Hively, or between Water and Hively.
okay.
We do that every year. I think this year they're planning on overflow from the beverage garden, I believe.
'Cause
They had it marked on their
I wondered
application.
because well, the parade goes down anyway and still would be going down that way on Saturday anyway.
That's one of the main reasons we block it off, is because of
Okay.
the parade on Saturday.
Yep, okay, thanks for the clarification. Had somebody ask that. Anybody else from department heads? Hearing none. Hey, I think I'll go this way this time. Kurt Johnson,
Nothing, Mayor.
Ross Hadley,
We just had the city had chamber-sponsored sidewalk sales this weekend. They had live music. It was beautiful weather, well-attended. We had tons of weddings in town, the fair. It was just nice to see the town really buzzing. So thanks to the street department for closing it off and making sure, and PD for making sure nobody drove down the center while we were all celebrating and working and selling. So thanks for your efforts on that.
thanks, Ross. Steve?
Just two things. Last council meeting that I was at, there was the structure fire a couple Tuesdays ago that elicited a really rapid response from a couple of our police officers, and then all of a sudden, trucks were flying in with volunteer firemen, and that just made me feel great and safer. So thank you so much. That speedy response with a structure fire and potential people involved means that we're safer because of y'all, and just meant a lot to see. Filled me with big feelings, actually, and I just wanted to say something. The other thing is that I've been, pretty consistently going to this trivia night that we cleared the way for next to Impact, and it's been really well attended with a lot of the people in attendance, people that are of the demographic that we, as a growing, or as a community that wants to grow or at least maintain ourselves, like these are the people that we want to make this place an appealing place to work, play, live, and recreate, especially. And they're there in numbers. It took work from streets, from public safety, from the staff at City Hall to make it happen. And it was kind of a crazy idea, but it's been amazing. And if you haven't gone, it's a great celebration of who we are as a town.
Thanks, Steve. Andy?
The only thing I can think of is just thank you ahead of time to public safety and streets for all the Nordic Fest work that's going to happen this coming weekend. And I hope everyone has a safe and happy fest.
Randy?
I'll echo Andy, and otherwise nothing.
Okay. Emily?
I want to echo the sentiments of my colleagues in terms of thanking both our public safety and street department, actually all of our departments, really. Decorah has been booming. You guys have been working on projects and just doing some great work around town. It was a super fun weekend with the fair and the downtown shopping. And I know this weekend Nordic Fest is going to be a wonderful celebration for our community, and people haven't had their Pharmapulsa for like 2 years now. So I think people are really looking forward to it, and I know I am, so thank you. And just then to let everyone know, I will be on vacation for our first of the month, August meeting.
Steve Luce?
Just wanted to express my appreciation for all the department heads and staff that took part in the hiring process and spent some very diligent time being attentive to details. I thought it was a well attended and well facilitated to accomplish a major task. I'm also hopeful that we have a new manager, and so we will possibly open our eyes to see things in a new way and allow for a new person to be who they are. Thank you.
You know,
Thanks, Steve.
Mayor Steve, you triggered something I meant to bring up. I don't know when our personnel committee will meet next, but I was thinking we should get the timeline moving, and if we're going to be talking about a consultant for the city clerk position.
Yeah, that, we should get moving on that too. So thanks, Emily. The only thing I am going to be going to the Alliant dedication, which that will be a lot of fun. This weekend I was invited by John Dingley, and John's very persuasive. If I'd come up and say something to the Raptor Resource people, I was going to be there. Anyway, so I went out to Dunning Springs, There was probably about 200 and some people out there with the more enthusiasm for Raptors and Eagles than I've ever seen. It was a lot of fun. They had a great meal. They had Lynch barbecue, and I had so many people that came up to me that said, one, they had never been to our city before. This was like a person from Vermont, Massachusetts, New York. Other ones that have said, we come every year. We love this place. We don't, you know, you didn't know you even existed, but they were extremely fond of all of the Eagles and knew them by numbers, I believe. So that was a lot of fun. Sometimes with the mayor position, that it's fun to be able to do those kind of things. Okay, anything else? I know that we have a Public Safety Committee meeting followed, so we'll take about 5 minutes or so, and then we will get going with that. Thank you.